I got a feeling after getting to know Victor at his house that day when we were shooting grilling him, I don't think he would cry over a $2,000 or $3,000 dinner bill. I think he'd be disappointed the boys didn't have a little more fun. Victor Olofsson signs a 2-year contract extension. Everyone in Buffalo thrilled. I get the sense that you're thrilled, Victor. Welcome to the show. Great to see you again, by the way. Hope you're well and healthy in the family and everything. So tell us, how do you feel? Contract signed. It's got to be a relief. You know what you're doing for the next couple years. You know what you're making.
Yeah. No, I'm super happy to get the deal done. I kind of had to be a little bit patient. There was a lot of guys that needed to get signed, and but I'm super happy how it turned out, and I'm really excited for the.
Is that how it happened? So you guys called general manager Kevin Adams and you say, hey, let's talk contract, and he says, wait, I've got to do free agency, and then I got to deal with Linus and Sam because they're first in the arbitration process, and we'll get to you after. Is that really what the timetable was set for you when you guys first called?
Yeah, that was kind of once we filed for arbitration, we knew that we're gonna be last, and they needed to focus on Sam and Linus first. So I just kind of had to be patient, but I kind of knew it would solve itself eventually, and I'm really happy that it did.
Instigators, Victor Olofsson. Sorry, Riv. Victor Olofsson joining the Instigators here for the radio crew listening. Go ahead, River.
I was just going to say, congratulations on the new contract. Obviously, the fans here in Buffalo are very excited, as I'm sure you are yourself. How was the discussions? Was there discussion of just a 1-year deal? Did you automatically go to a 2-year discussion? Was there a conversation at all about a longer term deal? How did it all come about?
We had some different conversations about the time. I felt like a 2-year deal was something that I kind of wanted. I had my first year, and then it was felt like I had a really good year, but I kind of want to prove myself here in the upcoming years, and I felt like I didn't want to sign for too long. But at the same time, it's nice to have at least a 2-year contract. So, I mean, you never know what's going to happen if you have a 1 year. You might get injured and stuff in the beginning. So I'm very happy with the 2-year deal, and that was what we were aiming for.
Had you asked players before arbitration about arbitration and what it's like in arbitration? Did you get a feel for that? Did you have a little bit of nerves going into arbitration after what you'd heard? We're all former players here, so we all have heard the stories. I never went to arbitration. Craig never went to arb. I think Marty did, and it was like a celebrity roast in there. But yeah. what was your mindset toward going to arbitration?
Yeah, I've heard some stories about that too, and it's I mean, obviously the player wants what he's worth, and the team want to get the player for the least amount of money they can get. So, I mean, it kind of get tough. That's what I heard, and I kind of knew that, and we were ready for it, but we obviously didn't want to go into arbitration. If we could solve it before, that would be a lot better, and that's how it turned out. So we're really happy.
Victor, how involved were you in the process? Did you watch Dominic Kubalik sign his deal, and did you watch Sam and Lena sign their deal too, thinking, well, if they get 6.5 and 4.5 million, there won't be much left on our salary cap? Like, how involved were you, or how comfortable were you looking at everything that was going on?
All of those players, especially Kubalik, is a player that we knew we weren't probably going to get as much as Kubalik. He had an unbelievable season and scored 30 goals. So, but when he settled for, I think he settled for like 3.7 or something, and we knew we were going to get probably at least $500,000 less than that, and so. I feel like I'm really excited. I'm super happy with how the contract turned out, and I mean, like I said, that was probably the player we were gonna compare ourselves to and get a little bit less than him.
Instigators, Victor Olofsson joining us here. I want to ask you, where do you see yourself playing next year in terms of lineup? And secondly, you know, with Taylor Hall here, you were playing on left wing with Jack. And secondly, can you clarify something for us? Do you or can you play right wing?
Yeah, for sure. I think I finished the season, the last couple of games on the right wing, and I feel really comfortable on the right wing. I mean, you have to make a little bit more plays off your backhand, which I think is fine. And offensively, I have the stick on the inside, and I can be ready for one-timers all the time during 5-on-5. So I feel like it's I've been playing a lot of right wing growing up, and I'm super comfortable playing on both sides.
And what about the other part of the question? When you look at the lineup now, where do you slot yourself? And have you spoken to Ralph Kruger and Kevin Adams during your negotiations about what the lineup's going to look like next year?
We haven't had any conversations about what's or how the lineup is going to look. I probably picture myself in the top two lines, and I don't know if I'm gonna have to play right wing. I'm totally fine with that, and if it's gonna be on the first or second line, I feel really good either way. I feel like we have a really strong lineup this year, and I think our top two lines is gonna be really good.
Instigators, Victor Olofsson joining us here. Marty, Craig, anything to ask? I got a list full here if you.
I got some too, but I want to let Rivs talk a little bit. So
you know what I want to ask. You know, you have players that sign a new contract, and you know, you always try and want to treat yourself. Is there something that you have in mind? Something that you would like to buy for yourself? With this new deal.
Well, I think what Craig is referring to, if I can just step in here, is Kim Kardashian took all her friends to an island.
Yeah, I might have to look into something like that. Bring my buddies over to, I don't know, somewhere in Europe maybe. Now it's not the best times for it, but we'll figure something out. I haven't really. There's not really anything I'm gonna buy right now. Maybe a house or so in the future, but we'll see.
Are you into cars at all? Because when I signed a pretty good deal, I went into a dealership, I bought myself a sports car, and I paid sticker price for it. And the salesman was like laughing all the way back to the bank because I didn't even negotiate. Is there a car in mind, something that, or maybe you have that car already and you don't have to worry about it?
It won't be a Skoda.
No, I'll probably buy a car in the US. I need a car over there, so we'll see what I'm gonna get. But
and what kind of car are you looking at? Are you a truck guy, SUV guy? Are you
luxury sedan?
I think it's I'm into I like the SUV ones. I mean, living in Buffalo, I think that's probably a good car to have during the winter. So
I can see you with a Tesla or something. You have that look. You have that young Tesla slick look. I could see you with something like that.
I don't know about the Tesla one, but
you don't have to plug. Hey, you already have to plug your car in Sweden in the wintertime so it doesn't freeze. You don't need to plug a car in over here too.
No, that's true.
Victor Olofsson joining the Instigators here on WGR Sports Radio 550. My question is this. How much does $3 million US transfer to in Swedish? What do you guys have? The crowns, kroners? What do you call it?
Yeah, kroners. It's I think $1 is right now at 8.5 Swedish kroners. So
what's 3 times 8, Martin?
3 times 8 is 24.
There you go. I did know that. I didn't want to brag about my math skills.
What's 3.05?
24 million kroners. Man. Yeah. So when we were talking before we came on, we were talking about. I didn't make $1 million in the league, but I went to $1 million dinners. Marty brought up $1 million dinner, and at least here in Buffalo, I remember my first $1 million dinner I went to. I certainly didn't buy it. It was Max Affinaganoff and Taylor Pyatt. It was in Pittsburgh, and they split it. Marty, you were there. Yep. Do you guys still do that? Do you do that? Does someone? I mean, we know Jack makes $10 million. He's going to take the boys out for dinner. That's a given. I mean, we know that. the big ticket guys are always great. It doesn't matter, even if it doesn't matter. But are you going to do that?
I don't know. I might. I know Skinner did one last year.
I would hope that he would have done
doing
a
a lot more than one.
Yes,
you need to stay on top of that.
Yeah, someone needs to hold that guy accountable. He should be doing 3 or 4 a year.
Oh yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I might have to. So I'm totally fine with that.
I'll tell you this, Victor. Before you take the boys out for dinner, take care of the trainers. You have Benny, you have Willie, you have George. You have the guys there. Take the trainers out first chance you got. Those are the guys that will take care of you for a long time. So before, Jack's going to give you, good passes, one-timer in the net, but the trainers are going to make sure your gear is nice and dry and well taken care of. So those are the guys you got to take out to dinner. And it's a lot cheaper too.
Oh yeah. All right.
Sometimes not, Marty.
Oh, I know. Maybe a cigar or two for those guys afterwards.
Hey, Victor, who off the ice, away from the team, because we all know how hospitable teammates can be in their families, but who off the ice helped you the most transition into the NHL or even into North America?
Last year was Marcus Johansson, for sure. He took very good care of me. He helped me with a lot of stuff, and I spent a lot of time in his house, and was a lot of dinners and on the road trips, and even when we were in Buffalo. So that was the guy that took the most care of me last year, and it kind of sucks to that he got traded, but it's kind of the business, and so we'll see.
That's your first friend in the NHL that's been traded. I mean, what was that like? I mean, that was a guy who was very influential. I mean, obviously emotional for you.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of came as a shock, both I think for him and for our whole team. But yeah, it's sad to lose a good friend like that on the team. But I mean, it's we all know it can happen anytime. So it's the business side of it, and you just gotta keep going. And I'm sure hopefully he will have a great time in Minnesota.
Did you and Linus talk? Like, you talk about Swedish buddies and all of that. Did you and Linus talk throughout the process? Hey, what are they offering you, and what are they saying about their situation, and compare notes a little bit?
Not so much about the money part of it. We were just kind of talking about how it's going, and if we were getting any closer to signing. And so it was. We had a few talks back and forth, and we run into each other all the time. So we had a lot of talks about it.
I have a question. So there were a bunch of Swedes on the team last year. And I remember, Marty, you were there too. I remember that we were only allowed to speak English in our locker room.
We were getting fined $50 for speaking French.
Are you allowed to speak Swedish to the Swedes, or are the Russians? I don't think there are any Russians on the team, but are the Finns, or, I mean, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you?
Yeah, it's I mean, they don't like when we're talking too much Swedish, especially. I mean, it's fine if you sit next to a guy and you talk Swedish, but they don't like it when we yell to each other in the locker room. So it's
everyone thinks you're talking about them.
Yeah.
You should have seen in Montreal, we got fined for speaking English. Our coach back then was speaking French, telling us how to the X's and O's before the game in French. How'd that work out?
Yeah, how'd that work out for you, Ribs?
That's why you turned into off the glass and out, because you're like, that's the safest play.
You better believe it. Safest play off the glass.
Victor, can Ralph speak Swedish? Like, I know Ralph speaks a ton of different language. Could he come in and speak a little Swedish with you guys?
No, I think he knows a few lines, but he doesn't really speak Swedish at all.
Okay.
Where does Dahlin fit into this Swedish group here? Is he allowed in, or is he just too young yet?
No, he's allowed in. He's a big part of it. He was already a good buddy of mine even before he got drafted by Buffalo. So we know each other really well, and that's obviously one of my best friends on the team too.
Did you see him this off season? Because we saw a picture of Rasmus Dahlin on Instagram or something. He looked like he's gotten buff. And when I say buff, not like the baby fat buff, like he's looked like he's gotten strong. So did you see him? And if so, is he a lot stronger?
I would imagine he's a lot stronger. I saw him once a couple of months ago. He looks a little bit bigger, and I know he's working very hard. So I think he's probably going to be a little bit more physical this year.
How good is he? How good is he on the ice? I mean, we watch it on TV, but when you're on the ice with him, is he easy to read? Is he hard to read? What is, because he just seems so, I don't even have a word to describe
He's
it.
like a slinky.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. I love being on the ice with him because he always kind of beats the first guy when he gets pressure on him, and you can kind of rely on him to almost beat one guy up every time he gets a puck. It's really easy. You know, you're going to get a really good pass off the breakout, and you just got to be ready all the time because he can find you all over the ice, and it's just a joy to watch, and he's very fun to play with.
We had a terrible interview with him a couple of years ago. It was catastrophic, but he brought you up because you had already been drafted, and he said, "Oh," because we said, "Can Victor Olofsson score goals at this level?" And he said, "Oh, give him the puck." And remember that, Riv? Marty,
best shot he's ever seen.
Yeah, best shot he's ever seen.
Wow, yeah, I know he said that a few times. But that was before he played in the NHL too, so he might take that back now.
I like how humble you are. That's good. Listen, with that $3 million, go get yourself a new bed that I laid in. All right.
You didn't like that one?
No, I thought it was great. I thought you might want to get rid of it since I laid in it. But I got to tell you, that was expensive, that one already.
That was a good bet, or it is a good bet. I still have it. So
yeah, maybe you should keep that one. Maybe keep that one. All right, listen. Thank you for your time. Are you doing a media run today? What are you laughing at, Riv? I did. We were grilling him. You were great.
You're the last person I would let in my bed. I'll tell you that right now.
And you're the first I'd let in mine. So it's amazing how that works. Victor, thanks for your time. Are you doing a media run today? You got the gun?
I have one in like 10 minutes, I think.
Okay, well, go prepare for that. And, we look forward to hopefully seeing you on the ice really soon.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Take care. Victor Olofsson,